focus this week.
Yeah, I mean that's important regardless of who you play. You know, to be able to defend physically without fouling. And obviously, this league is physical. You know, there's going to be contact, and they're a physical front line. And you know, we want our guys to continue to play physical, but you got to do it, you know, in an intelligent way and try to minimize fouling too.
Brad talked about how environments, you know, like Indiana, he thrives off that kind of stuff. How important is it to have such a vocal leader like him that can, you know, really bring up these other guys that maybe aren't used or maybe don't thrive off some of those environments?
Yeah, I think, you know, the environments we've been in, it's been good. It's been electric. Obviously, when you have you're playing against good teams, that always adds to the environment. But that's, you know, I know our guys enjoy that, and Brad obviously is at the top of the list of that. Really, you know, a lot of times people will get intimidated by some of those environments, and I mean, these guys they enjoy it. That's what college basketball is supposed to be, and I think not having that last year gives you a greater sense of appreciation for what we've been able to play, and specifically on the road this year.
Obviously, teams play a ton of games during the season, but there's some pivotal moments as seasons unfold. I know this is a long time ago, but can you think back to that Texas A&M game in Vegas? And looking back on it now, maybe how you guys won that day helped maybe reaffirm some things in the guy's mind, some things you learned about your team that day?
Yeah, I think the one thing that this group has understood really well from the beginning is 40 minutes is a long time, and if things don't go well in the first 10 minutes or the first half or whatever, don't panic. You know, there's a lot of possessions left, and we can make up ground. And so this group hasn't gotten too high, and they haven't gotten too low, even from game to game or even within games. And I think that's important to understand that, and how you can, you know, the tide can turn against you just as fast as you can regain control. So just understanding the importance of every possession, and that, you know, like I said, 40 minutes is a long time. You know, there's going to be an average of 65 to 70 possessions, and you know, we've had other games, you know, since then that have kind of played out that way too. And even the other night in Indiana, when you're down late in the game, there's still plenty of time. And I try to keep a calm demeanor and understand, hey, there's, you know, we still got a lot of time. I think I had said that in one of the timeouts. We got a lot of game left and a lot of possessions left. Just make sure we get the next ones taken care of.
Did the staff learn anything about the team in Vegas? I know you guys said that before the season started, you thought you'd have a good team, but I'm curious if you guys learned anything from that.
Yeah, I mean, we thought we were going to be good back in June and July. I mean, that's just what I saw in the eye test, but you aren't battle tested then. You know, it's easy to look good in summer workouts sometimes, but when you actually get in competition and have your back against the wall, I think what we saw specifically in Vegas was that the resilience and mettle this group has, and they developed it. Sometimes it takes longer to develop it. You have to go through some rough patches of a season to be calloused a little bit and respond the right way. And this group, you know, primarily from the start, has responded really well when they've needed to.
Brad, Jacoby Neath hasn't had exactly the best or the most easy journey, I should say. He's had a pretty challenging journey. How would you say he's handled all of that and put that onto the court too?
Yeah, I think he's handled it well. I mean, if you probably ask any of these guys, they're going to tell you a lot about some of the trials that they go through too. You know, it's not easy. You know, and I tell those guys that all the time. I tell recruits that. You know, you're going to hear a lot of things about college basketball. What I will promise you, it won't be easy. You know, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be hard days. It's a grind. You know, people on the outside only see the 2 hours we're on TV. They don't see the other 22 hours of the day or the other 4 days a week that we're not on TV, and what these guys, how they work, and their responsibilities and all the other time. So that's why you want, you know, people that understand that in your program and don't fly off the handle one way or the other, where that goes really well or you have some tough times. Teammates pick you up, coaches pick you up, and I think that's understanding that, and I think that maturity that he has, that because he's already, you know, spent 2 years at Wake Forest and has gone through 2 conference seasons. He's seen the other side of it. He knows he's not coming in naive to, you know, that there's going to be ups and downs and there's going to be some bumps along the way.
On Sunday, do you guys have to be careful about how you attack Dickinson, it seems like do teams get into trouble by giving him too much attention in the post, given that he's such a good passer? And it seems like a lot of their guys really get a lot of rhythm threes, and allows the other big, Diabate, to get, free run at the offensive glass too when guys get out of position.
Obviously Hunter's a really good passer. You mentioned that, and he's shooting threes now a little bit more, not a lot, but has added that, and it looks pretty good coming out of his hand. So yeah, I mean, I think he's added other dimensions to his game, but he's also had to adjust to playing with a new group too, new point guard. Other than Eli Brooks, most of those guys that he played with last year are not there, other than a couple guys off the bench. So I think it's taken them a little while to come together, and you've seen flashes of it. But he is obviously he can create a lot of with the passing out of the high post, the low post. Ability to do a little pick and popping, shooting threes, so pretty effective player.
And then how do your bigs, just held up? It seems like every game they're facing an all Big Ten guy or a guy that has a shot to play in the league.
Yeah, I mean this league is in terms of the fives, it's as good and as deep as it's been in my time here. We've had good players through the years, Greg Oden, others you can name along the way, but I don't think this many. Where it's almost every night you have somebody that's pretty specifically inside, in terms of the experience and the size of some of those guys.
Are you comparing or contrasting this Dickinson matchup to, for instance, Kofi Coburn a few weeks ago?
He's different. Yeah, it's different than Kofi. They play, their game's a little different. They're both very effective in their own rights, but both teams are built a little bit different. They're both, they do what Kofi does well. Hunter does other things different and has some skill set that maybe Kofi doesn't have, and vice versa. So it's a little different, task than what Coburn was.